Hey, it's Vinny, and today I wanted to do something a tiny bit different, and I wanted to sort of give a tip for people who have anxiety. Now, I'm just gonna start off by saying, like, this is not some well-kept secret. This isn't some thing that, like, I am the keeper of this. I probably was the first one who thought about this. Probably not. But I figured that I would use my experience to maybe help others that have a difficult time thinking about what to do in particular situations. And today I'm going to talk about scripting. Now, with my anxiety, I have a very difficult time doing things like talking on the phone to strangers. It is one of my least favorite things to do. I absolutely dread it. If it's something that I know has like a deadline, sometimes I will wait until the very last day to even do it because I know that it's like, I need to have so much mental energy in order to do this, and I'm not prepared for it. But what I like to do is I like to script myself. Now, basically, it literally is opening up Notepad on my laptop and saying, okay, what are we going to say? And essentially, I write a dialogue for myself. I take on the role of both the phone operator and myself. It's like, this person's usually going to say, hello, I'm from such and such company, blah, blah, blah. This is going to be recorded. And, state your name, date of birth, and phone number, sort of. It's usually how it always goes. So prepare to answer those questions. And if you need any cards or something, numbers, ID numbers, account numbers, please have that ready. So usually I make sure I have my photo ID out with me, any insurances, if I'm calling insurance companies, bank account number, anything like that, anything that I know might be asked, I'm going to make sure to have it out at the ready. And basically, from that, I think about, well, what is it that I'm here to call about? And I will write a script based on that. So let's say that I'm here to talk about, I don't know, a payment plan for my student loan. So I'll make sure to say, like, hi, this is Vinny, and I have an account with you guys for blah, 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 bank, whatever, and I'm interested in talking about a payment plan for my student loan. And basically, then I think of, well, what are they usually going to say? They're usually either going to pass me off to somebody else or they're going to ask for more information. And that's when I'm like, all right, get the account numbers ready. Make sure you have all that info. Make sure you know how much money is in the account because sometimes they'll ask you stuff like that, you know. And then it's like, all right, so what kind of payment plan am I looking for? Or say if it's something like I need to ask them a question, I'll make sure that I have those questions written down. So it's like, maybe I might say like, hey, I see that you want me to pay $500 a month, but right now I'm going through a financial struggle, and I was really wondering if I could ask for a different kind of payment arrangement, maybe do $200 a month until I'm no longer on this hardship. So I'll have something like that literally written out on the screen. And this has really, it has really helped me out for a lot of my phone conversations because instead of spending time thinking, oh my god, what am I gonna say? I don't have anything ready, Oh my god, what if they ask me for this and it's not in front of me and I have to go, can you hold on a second and take something out of my purse, Or like, or maybe they're gonna ask me something and I'm gonna trip up or whatever. Because the big thing with me is with talking with strangers, especially those of like in authoritative positions. Um, I have this issue where basically, if I don't come prepared with a script of what I'm going to say and what the game plan is, I often stumble and kind of stutter through my words. And that is one of the most embarrassing feelings for me ever. It's like once that happens, my anxiety is through the roof, and automatically I'm just thinking about, well, I'm done with this conversation. I gotta escape. And once that panic sits in, it's like harder and harder for me to concentrate because so many things are going through my mind, thinking, oh God, did that person hear me? They had to have heard that. Are they thinking, oh gee, wow, this person can't even talk on the phone. How old are they? Do they not know? Are they lacking in communication skills? These are things I think of. Probably not things anyone is really dwelling on. Hence the nature of it is to have anxiety. But these are things that I'm always worried about. I'm always worried about how other people perceive me. And so if that's going through my mind, it's like, oh man, it's like abort this. And I find that another handy trick for scripting is that I always tell myself if something goes wrong, I can hang up the phone. It's fine because when I call back, I'm most likely not going to be speaking to the same person. And I know it's such a horrible thing, and I've never actually ever hung up on someone before. I've never done it. But the thing is that I don't know if it's just me or if it's a common thing for people who have anxiety, but lying to yourself and getting yourself to believe that it's like, yeah, this is gonna be fine, and if it doesn't go well, so what? Who cares? I'm just gonna leave. Um, Telling yourself that makes me feel so much more at ease because the thing with anxiety is that you're always kind of looking for an escape. Something is triggering you, something is giving you a heightened sense of emotions. You're going to start feeling the physical symptoms, your chest's going to hurt, your breathing might get labored, you might get like really tense in your hands, sweating, that kind of thing. And, you know, that doesn't happen to me really if I have an escape plan. So for talking on the phone, my escape plan is basically, well, I'm just gonna hang up. I mean, what are they really gonna do? Nothing. Um, and so yeah, that's basically my tip for this video is if you have issue with trying to make a phone call, joining a conversation that you have to have over the phone, then you gotta just script that out. Pretend like you are writing a play and just think of all the things that you could say. Think of all possible answers that you could say back if you're not very good at kind of answering people on like in the moment. If you're not very good at that, you can practice with yourself some select answers that you think, all right, this sentence has 7 words. I can do this. And most of all, tell yourself that, if all doesn't go well, that you have an escape route. And, you might never ever use that, but you're going to feel so much better knowing that you have a fail safe. So, I hope any of what I said helped, or if it didn't help, I hope it at least made you laugh a little bit at my my strategy for coping with my anxiety with phone conversations. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I hope to see you again. Bye.